Really grateful and honored to be here today. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you all for being so attentive, being so engaged. I've learned so much already from the first two speakers, and hopefully I'll be able to share some value as well. I want to start off by telling you about an experience that I had recently. And I was traveling to LA. How many of you have ever visited LA? How many of you like LA? Okay, hands kind of equal. Every time I ask in the US, everyone's hands go down. So it's interesting to see Asia's a bit happier about LA. Anyway, I was traveling to LA, and before I get on a flight, I took out my phone and I sent a tweet. How many of you use Twitter? Okay, awesome, a few of you. So I sent a tweet, and I sent a tweet saying that I can't wait to go to LA. I tagged in LA tourism. I said, I really, really hope that I can get a reservation at my favorite pizza place. Tagged in my favorite pizza place. Anyone like pizza? Yeah, more popular than LA. And then I tagged in and I said, I really, really, really hope that I can get tickets to the LA Lakers game tonight because I'm a huge basketball fan, and I tagged in the LA Lakers. Anyone like basketball? Okay, awesome. So I tagged in the LA Lakers, sent off the tweet, thought nothing of it, got onto the flight. I have this unique ability to be able to fall asleep on any mode of transport. I know you're feeling jealous right now. I went to sleep for the whole flight, got off at the other side, grabbed my bags, ordered a lift, jumped in, went to my hotel, was greeted by the concierge. They said, hi, Mr. Shetty, welcome to the hotel. They said, here's the amenities, here's the key to your room, told me a bit about the hotel. And they said, actually, Mr. Shetty, we saw your tweet. And they said, because we saw your tweet, we actually managed to get you a reservation at your favorite pizza place. And we even managed to get you tickets to the LA Lakers game. They're sitting upstairs in your room. Pretty good, right? Now that didn't really happen. But imagine if it did. It could have happened, but it didn't. It should have happened. Thank you. Thank you for being on my side. I really appreciate that. It should have happened, but it didn't. And the reason why I told you that story, why am I telling you that story? I'm telling you that story because social media gets a reputation, especially if you're an influencer or a video creator, to be used for benefits, for perks. If you're a casual consumer every day, social media gets a reputation of having pictures of your favorite food, your breakfast, your lunch. How many of you tweeted a picture or Instagrammed a picture of your lunch today? Don't be shy now. Don't be shy. This is what we think social media is about. You can see the Mona Lisa with the pout up there. Poor Mona Lisa, right? This is how we view the use of social media. Unfortunately, it doesn't get past this. 99.9% of the traffic on social media is of the kind that you're seeing up here, and probably a little worse too. I didn't want to get that crass, so I've left it here. And then it gets worse. I hope this isn't any of your daughters or sisters or cousins or anyone like that. Keeping hydrated on my sick day. We see the use of social media going a bit too far. We're seeing it being used so loosely and callously. We have this. 24% of people have regretted or removed posts from social media. And that's only the people that told us they did that. And here we can see three very good examples. And the last one at the bottom is my favorite. Cisco just offered me a job. Now I have to weigh up the utility of a fatty paycheck against the daily commute to San Jose and hating the work. That lost that person their job. We see so many silly things on social media every day. We see so many insignificant things on social media every day. And most of this fills up our feed. And yes, we laugh at it. Yes, we may find it funny for a moment. But as people who are serious change makers, people who are conscious creators, who want to see the world move forward, who want to see things get better, who want to make a positive impact and see a positive difference in the world, I believe that we have to view social media differently. I believe that we have to view and use social media as a stage and a platform differently if we really want it to have the impact that it possibly can have, that it has the potential to have. Now, one of my favorite thoughts comes from E.O. Wilson, where he said that today we are drowning in information but starving for wisdom. And one of the most interesting things about that perspective is that we live in a world today where we all want knowledge, wisdom, whatever it may be, but we want it packaged in a relevant, innovative, and accessible way. We want entertainment first and education second. We want to be enlivened before we're enlightened. We want to be engaged before we're educated or requested to be called to action. It's how our brains have been wired. It's why we choose Netflix over a good book. Everyone agree? Who's been binge watching anything lately? What have you been binge watching? Own up. Anyone want to share? Yeah? Fauda? Yeah? Okay, anyone else? Westworld, yeah? Anyone else? Oh, Black Mirror, okay. Lots of binge watching going on. Anyone read any books lately? No? No, I'm joking, I know you are. But it's interesting how we've shifted away and what we expect, whether it's a book, whether it's a show, what we expect has changed. And that's so true for storytellers and storytelling. If you can get the slides back. One of the things that I want to show you is what research shows about this and how research backs this so well. So we see that students can recall statistics clearer when the lecturer added novel methods of presentation. We see that storytelling, when entertainment first, education second, actually improves our retention. And actually, we all think we have a challenge with retention. I lived as a monk for 3 years, and I figured out that our challenge is not with retention, it's with attention. We retain more when we're attentive, and we're attentive when things are presented in a novel way. Another brilliant statistic that I found that I love is showing how experiences increase levels of dopamine, endorphins, oxygen, which all lead to better learning. I led an incredible meditation recently for one of my clients. They told me they could not get all the executives out of the office. How many times have you heard that? So I wanted to lead this incredible outdoor meditation. They said to me, it's not possible. You've got to figure out how to do it inside. So what we did is we had an auditorium like this, no tables, no chairs. We laid the floor with white sands, real sand. I got them to get real sand. I said, if you're not taking me to the beach, I'm bringing the beach to you. We had the whole auditorium laid with sands. Everyone had their virtual reality headsets on and walked around and did a beach meditation with me inside the auditorium. Experiences, I wish I could show you pictures, they didn't allow me. Experiences allow us to transport ourselves and increase immersive realities, right? And then we see that people who feel that they're always exposed to something new and fresh incites better learning. So how do we do all of that in storytelling? How do we do all that? And I read a study that changed my perspective about everything. 2 years ago, I read a study that changed my perspective about everything. It said that the most successful people in the world, healthy, wealthy, and wise, choose education over entertainment. And it said that the most unsuccessful people, healthy, wealthy, or wise, choose entertainment over education. And that really blew my mind. And I started to think to myself, if we're really going to connect with every single person on the planet, now that more people in the world own a smartphone than a toothbrush. Now that that's a real statistic, by the way. I actually went and dug deep into, I actually had a call with Colgate just to check. And statistically, it's true. More people have access to a smartphone or own a smartphone than a toothbrush. And I thought to myself, how do I make sure that everyone who has a smartphone has the ability to be exposed to life-changing ideas? How do we make sure that everyone who owns a smartphone has the ability to access knowledge, wisdom, and transformation in a way that no one else can? How do we make that possible? And I can tell you what I'm going to share with you are 3 experiments I did. Today, 2 years on, 3 billion views later, 20 million people online as a community that I've been able to build over the last 2 years, or we've been able to build over the last 2 years. And working with some incredible brands to see how we can use these storytelling methods in real change through social media, not offline, but online at scale. I want to show you those 3 experiments. And this is what it was all based on. Tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn. How could we take a participatory experience into the online world? Not only does social media let people view, but it allows people to participate. How do we engage with people on that level? So last year, National Geographic launched a great biopic about Einstein's life called Genius. How many of you saw this? Anyone saw this? Awesome. It was an incredible show. If you're an Einstein fan, I highly recommend it. Einstein said that play is the best form of research. And based off of this, they launched an incredible campaign called Chasing Genius. I led the video for this campaign, and we built out a campaign that was aimed at chasing genius from across America at the time for ideas that could change the world. Ideas that could either feed 9 billion, ideas that could create a sustainable planet, and ideas that would improve global health. In 1 week, our storytelling video, the one that I created, generated 30,000 responses from people all over sharing stories and video of their idea that could change the world. 3 winners would be selected. They'd all been given initially $25,000 to start their ideas and introductions into venture capitalists and mentors that could make their ideas a reality. But imagine 30,000 responses. I learned a huge deal from this, and the biggest thing I learned was the need for people wanting to participate, people wanting to be a part of the story. We no longer want to watch a story, see a story, we want to be a part of the story. Now, I want to ask you a question. How many of you think men or women use social media more? How many of you think men use social media more than women? How many think women use social media more than men? Okay, you're right. I'm glad you're right. You should be right. How many women, men or women, use social media to push messages about leadership, business, and thought leadership out? Men or women win? Who's first when it comes to thought leadership, influence, and business? How many people believe women are more active on social media for those topics? How many think men are more active? Pretty equal there. The answer is men are more active in those topics. Women online on social media are using it for human connection. And this is my pledge proposal to all of you today. I want to live in a world where thought leadership, business, etc., is all about human connection. Imagine if we lived in a world where all of those themes were completely infused about human connection, real, genuine, authentic connection. And that's the world that's possible thanks to all of us here today. Now, the next example I wanted to show you was a video that I made for Mental Health Awareness Week. How many of you know anyone who struggled from mental health? Anyone? It's becoming more and more prominent, especially in my generation and the generation beyond. And so when I was working with this campaign, I wanted to make a video that wasn't patronizing. I wanted to make a video that didn't talk down to anyone. I didn't want to make a video that assumed how people felt. So instead of making a video with statistics, instead of making a video with examples, instead of making a video saying, please contact us if you're struggling with mental health, and I wish I could show you this video, but it's about 5 minutes long. So I can't, unfortunately, but I highly recommend checking it out on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram afterwards. We made a video that retold and reenacted the tragic story of a girl who committed suicide. And the video was so real that the actress that played the girl was receiving real messages from people on social media asking if she was okay. And the most incredible thing about this is this video, as you can see from the bottom there, was shared over 2 million times. And the video now has about 118 million views on social media across the world. And what that did was it allowed us to generate a response from people who weren't open, a response from friends who knew what to do to connect people close by. And I'll share where we got to after I share the next video. I'll share how we used that momentum to actually impact people at a grassroots and ground level. The second thing that I was super passionate about was education. We made a video that was supportive of people taking more gap years. They found that students that were able to take gap years were more clear about their career trajectory and able to make better decisions as they moved on, especially with mounting pressures to decide what you want to be earlier in your life. This video did about 2.4 million shares, 6.8 million shares, and about 337 million views on social media. And we used this video again to bring up this conversation with some of the biggest colleges and institutions in the world, parents, children, students of all kinds. And both of these videos and many more have evolved not just into online communities, but offline communities. Offline communities, meetups across hundreds of cities in the world, where groups of people are getting together to share their stories with each other, find coaching, find mentorship, find guidance. So what these two taught me is that not only do people want to participate, but people want to feel like you understand their pain and emotion. One of the biggest challenges with storytelling today is that it's redundant or assumes the story rather than deeply connects with the individual's emotion and experiences. And so where does that leave us today? It leaves us with three key elements when we're trying to use social media for storytelling. In deeply understanding people's pain. That's where it all starts, deeply understanding people's emotions. Second is adding the entertainment element. And entertainment doesn't just mean laughs, it means emotion. It means understanding journeys. It means being able to take people on their own story. And the final, engaging. Allow people to participate, allow them to contribute, allow them to be a part of the change. Don't push them away and tell them the story. Allow them to redefine and recreate the story with you so that they too feel empowered to be part of the change and not just watch it. And that's why I want to leave you with this. Thought by Churchill, but I like it a lot. Personally, I'm always ready to learn, although I do not always like being taught. And I think all of us would agree with that. So next time you're thinking about telling a story, think about how you can help people learn without even knowing they are. Thank you so much.